Hello students, today let us discuss about the various laws governing a minor's agreement. So before concentrating on the various laws, as we all know, a minor is actually incompetent to enter into any agreements. A minor, an insolvent and an insane are usually kept aside from entering into an agreement. So if a minor wants to enter into an agreement, what are the laws governing him? Let us discuss about this topic now. So the first law relating to a minor's agreement is that a minor's agreement is void ab initio. Void ab initio, that is, void ab initio means it is a void contract in the initial stage itself. Void contract, as we all know, it is a contract which cannot be enforced in the court of law. So which is void at the initial stage itself cannot be enforced in the court of law later when a minor fails to fulfill his obligations. The next law related to a minor's agreement says that no ratification is possible on attaining majority. That is, a minor once enters into an agreement when he was a minor, later when he attains majority, he cannot make any ratification or he cannot make any correction to the laws or any corrections to the contracts for which he has signed or for which he has given his acceptance earlier when he was a minor. The next law regarding minor's agreement says that beneficial agreements is valid. Beneficial agreements here refers to those contracts or those agreements which are actually beneficial to a minor. Say for example, a contract in which a minor becomes a beneficiary or an endorsee or a promisee. In all these cases, the minor is the beneficiary there or he is going to receive some benefit from the contract. So all these kinds of contracts are considered valid contracts. The next law here is that no estoppel against a minor. That is, as we all know, by misrepresenting or by giving any false information, we may act or we may make the other person act and we may take the decision which is in favor of our contracts. But later we cannot say that it was the wrong information given and we cannot try to evade or we cannot try to quit the contract. This is estoppel. So an estoppel is not possible for any other contracts. But this law is not related to minor's agreement. That is, a minor when he was below 18 enters into a contract, later he may file a case in the court of law or the other party to the contract may file a case against the minor in the court of law, but in all these cases a minor can plead minority. That is, he may try to avoid or he may rescind the contract on the basis of minority. So no estoppel regarding a minor's agreement. That is, a minor is always free to plead his minority and he is always free to quit the contract. The next law says that, or the next rule says that restitution against a minor is possible only in certain cases. That is, the court cannot demand for the restitution of the benefits when the properties or when the benefits are not traceable. For example, a minor borrows a loan of 10 lakhs in order to purchase a house. Later, he refuses to repay the loan. In this case, if the money lender files a case against the minor in the court of law, the court cannot demand the minor to repay the loan. Instead, the court may demand the minor to give back the house whatever he has purchased using the 10 lakhs as a loan. So this rule is applicable only when the benefits received or the assets purchased are traceable. When the property purchased is not traceable, in that case a minor will not be held personally liable. The next rule here says that minor's liability for necessaries of life. In these cases, a minor cannot be held personally liable for the necessities provided to him or to his dependents by any third party. And again here the necessities include not just the food and shelter. Other than this, whatever the basic necessities required for a minor and his dependent to lead a normal life. Say it might be regarding the educational assistance, or it might be regarding the medical assistance, or whatever which is required for a minor or for his dependent to lead a normal life. And again here the minor cannot be held personally liable for these necessities supplied to him by his guardian or any other third party. And again the rule also says that he should not have any sufficient source of supply. For example, a minor has sufficient supply of food, again a guardian supplies him additional food. In this case it is not considered as a necessity, and in these cases the rule is not applicable. And again here minor will not be personally held liable. Instead, if he has any property, only the property can be used to pay back the cost of necessities which are provided to a minor or his guardians or his dependents. So a minor cannot be held personally liable for any necessities which are being provided to him. Only his personal properties, if any, can be held liable. The next rule here says that the court cannot order for the specific performance for a minor. That is, a minor has entered into a contract and now the minor fails to perform his legal obligation. In this case, the court will not demand for the specific performance. That is, the court cannot order a minor to fulfill the legal obligations which are arising out of the contracts whatever signed by the minor. The next rule here says that contract of services is void. That is, you cannot enter into a contract with the minor regarding any services. But here there are certain exceptions. That is, when the contract is regarding the services which are beneficial to the minor. Say for example, the trainings which are to be given to a minor, which is a part of his education. In these cases, this is an exception and these kind of contracts are valid. On the other hand, when it is a contract and the minor is even below the age of 14, in this case it is void. In all other cases, when a minor enters into a contract and the contract is in such a kind that it is going to benefit him for his future livelihood or which is a part of his education, in all these cases the contracts becomes valid. The next rule here says that a minor is not to be permitted as a partner for a partnership firm. And again, there is an exception for this law. That is, a minor can be admitted into a partnership business as a partner provided he is a partner only for the profits earned by the business. No liabilities shall be given to the minor, or no capital might be expected from the minor. It is only the profits which are to be shared among the minor and the other partners. And again here, as a minor is incompetent or he is incapable to enter into a contract, so on behalf of a minor, either his guardians or parents will have to enter into a partnership business, and any profits arising out of the partnership business is to be transferred to the minor. This is valid, but a minor directly cannot become a partner, or no losses are to be borne or no losses are to be shared by a minor. The next rule here says that a minor cannot be a shareholder. But again, there are certain exceptions here. A minor cannot be registered in the books of the members of a company as a member or as a shareholder, but the guardians can enroll their names in the register on behalf of the minor. And again, regarding the transfer and transmission of shares, a minor can receive the shares in the form of transfer or transmission provided the shares transferred or transmitted are fully paid up shares. No amount is to be collected from a minor. Whatever fully paid up shares held by the individual or by an adult can be easily or can be directly transferred to a minor. But the contract should not be between the company and the minor. Instead, it should be a contract between the company and the guardian who is acting on behalf of the minor. The next rule here says that a minor can be appointed as an agent. That is, a minor may act on behalf of the principal. But here when he acts on behalf of the principal will be held liable for any acts or any breach of duties undertaken by a minor and not the minor. The next rule here is regarding the declaration of minor as an insolvent. A minor, as he is incompetent to enter into the contracts, he cannot be declared insolvent as he cannot enter into any contracts regarding the debts. The next rule here about the joint contracts, that is a minor and an adult jointly entering into a contract. Even in this case, minor will not be held liable. Instead, the adult who has jointly entered into the contract will be held liable. The next rule regarding surety for a minor. So, any guardian may stand as a surety for the minor, and any negligence by the minor, it is the surety given person who is held liable and not the minor. The next rule regarding the position of minor's parents, that is a minor's parents cannot be held liable for the breach of duties done by a minor. Here it is exception when the parents are acting as in principal and the minor acts as an agent of the parents. In these cases, when a minor is an agent of his parents, in that case parents are held liable. In no other cases the parents will be held liable for the breach of duty or breach of the contract which is done by a minor. The next case, that is regarding the minor's liability in torts. Torts, it is a civil mistakes. So, when there is a civil mistake done by a minor and which is outside the contract, in this case a minor will be held liable. That is, when he goes beyond the contract, he does a act, he does a civil mistake which is outside the contract. In these cases he is held liable. But when there is breach of contract or when there is negligence shown by a minor and it is related to a contract, in this case a minor cannot be held liable. The next rule is regarding the minor and the negotiable instruments. So, a minor is free to have or is free to sign any negotiable instruments which are binding all others except himself. That is, he may receive any negotiable instruments which are beneficial for him, but he is not supposed to enter into any contracts which are making him to make any payments. The next rule here is regarding the marriage contracts entered by a minor. As I told, it is void in the initial stage itself, so later even after attaining majority, it cannot be converted as a valid contract. So these are the various rules or these are the various laws which are governing a minor's agreement. So in the next class, let us discuss about the other parties who are considered incapable of entering into a contract. Thank you.